Hey, just a note here at the top before we start. We have another guest co host for this week's episode. Featured is my old friend Alex, who you will hear is a calculated and thoughtful guy who loves hardcore rock music as much as anyone that I know. He's the perfect person for this conversation about one of the greatest emo records ever recorded. He's also the father of two young boys who do make themselves heard a few times in this episode. The audio isn't perfect, but what is? Thanks, Alex, for finding the time to put aside your responsibilities to talk shop, just like the old days. Enjoy the discussion. To give our non-existent listeners a little bit of background, it's been a long time since that we talked, but we used to live in Portland, Oregon together for a couple of months. We actually didn't. You lived in Beaverton, Oregon.
Yeah. I never moved to Portland.
And then I moved to Portland, but I only made it a couple of months and moved all the way back across the country after that. And so we used to be roommates. We listened to a ton of the same music at that time in our lives, which is now like 10 years ago. So that's why I have invited you to come talk about an album today. But I realized while I was listening to this that I don't know anything about how your music taste has evolved since then. So I think that's a pretty good place to start. If you want to just tell me, like, what are you into right now?
It hasn't really evolved much. Like, okay. Even since high school.
You still listen to Radiohead?
Yes. Still love Radiohead. Flatbush Zombies. I've been listening to Hotelier.
Very different.
To prepare. Radiohead, Flatbush, all the same like metalcore that I listened to in high school.
Give me an example of that, because I don't know if I know the metalcore that well. And I think we might touch on it a little bit today.
Like Under Oath, Devil Wears Prada, As I Lay Dying, stuff like that. I've been on a pretty big new metal kick lately.
Are we talking like Limp Bizkit?
Yes.
Very nice.
Limp Bizkit, nice. Slipknot, a lot of System of a Down, a lot of Tool. A couple of Jude's favorite songs are Tool.
Love that.
Yeah, he's a little metalhead.
He is going to, there's no question he's playing some kind of instrument. Like, I don't know what, but no question. If he likes Tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he hears it, is what I'm saying. He hears what the rest of us cannot.
Exactly.
We're just like, listen, I'm worried about my yard.
Right, I mowed the lawn today.
Oh my God. There's nothing truer than like the slow progress into like, oh, I've become my father. I just care about like the domestic things that I like laughed at when I was 25, and now I'm like, oh, like I get it already. I'm not even like, I'm literally 32 years old, and I'm already like, I totally like those people that are like 70. I'm like, I understand all of your hobbies. I get all of it.
Yep. This is why Grandpa had so many different tools in his basement that he hardly ever used, but sure he used them at some point. Needed something at some point, grabbed it, never needed it, or never had to buy another one.
He's like, are you accumulating tools? Is that what you're telling me?
Not as much as I would like to, but the point is I would like to.
You would like to, yeah.
Like I need some saws. I need a good pair of shears.
What are so the album that we're talking about today, obviously, since we haven't named it yet, is Home, Like No Place. I always say it backwards. Like No Place Is There, not There Is, by the Hotelier. And I would say that is a pretty squarely an emo revival album. Like that is the only way to really classify it, right? I don't personally have that much of a history with emo music, and I'm curious if you do. like outside of this?
Um, kind of like you'd say this is emo revival, where I grew up on more like classical emo, whatever you'd call it. I don't know. My Chemical
Classical.
Romance, Blink
Okay.
182 is more poppy, but they're definitely pretty emo. Um, what else? I mean, even some Under Oath is pretty uh, more of like screamo than metalcore.
Hmm. I think there have been a couple waves of emo, to my understanding. Like the cursory, what's the word I'm looking for? Wow. Uh, research. That's the word. The cursory research that I've done about this is that like emo is the thing like in the 80s, but they're bands that like I never heard of. Like uh I honestly can't even think of them now, and I don't want to Google it because I'm just going to get down another a whole. I'm going to change the subject. Then there was like a second wave of emo in the '90s. Then like a third and the fourth wave, which I think is what you're talking about with like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
And then I think the Hoteliers sit like after that, even like there's another wave after that. And I don't know if it's the fifth or the sixth, the seventh, like how many there have been, but it's like, and it was kind of, to my knowledge, sort of like the last gasp of emo, basically
Oh,
was, and this album came out in 2014, which I think is around the time that I heard it. And I remember there being some bands a little bit like them. Like, I'm going to give you one. Do you know Modern Baseball, or do you remember me? Do you remember me talking
I
about
remember
Modern
you
Baseball?
listening to them.
Yeah.
My friend Joe, who's the only person I've ever met other than you who knew the hotelier,
Mhm.
he would play them at work sometimes.
Honestly, I believe now that they are not as good as the Hotelier. But what's interesting is that I found the Hotelier through them because I was really into them in like before we moved in together in Pew Street. Like this was probably 2012, 2013 ish. I was like a Modern Baseball head. And I think I went to a show it was in Rochester with my friend who went to school in Rochester. I just went to visit him, and we went to like this dinky little show. Like there probably were like 40 people there. And we went to see Modern Baseball, and the Hotelier opened up for them. There was actually two openers for them. The Hotelier was first, and there was a band called Sorority Noise, which I also really like.
Lord.
That Yeah, they have a kind of a similar feel to the Hotelier, actually. Um, Also, not as good as what I think now, but that was when I like got introduced to the Hotelier, and I think I remember. I mean, they played a couple of songs, probably not that many. They were just the opener, but I think I remember Housebroken, which we'll talk about today, um, is the one that like left an impression on me. And I was like, oh, this is like I got to figure out who these guys are. But at the time, they had this album and they had one other album that I literally never listened to, like because of how good Home Like No Place Is There was, and that was the first thing I listened to. I was like, I don't need to listen to anything else. I don't need to try any other album that they have, and I've honestly I've never heard their first album like all the way through until today for this exercise.
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, it was okay. Like it's not worth it's not worth bringing like into the conversation because it's like there's one or two good songs and like you can hear you can tell that they're onto something. Like I think if I heard that in when it first came out, when I a couple years beforehand, like I would have been like, okay, I kind of get this, but it's nowhere near as good as Home. So that's why we're not talking about it.
Okay.
Um, so emo revival 2014ish. I am curious for your part. What is your relationship to this album? And better yet, I'm going to ask a different question. I think it's related. Who were you when this album came out and you first heard it?
Who was I?
I'm going to give you a minute.
Well, That's a tough one. Like you introduced it to me. I was in my early 20s, like 22, 23,
We're in that area. Yep.
and my my introduction to them as a band was driving out to Pittsburgh to see them. So you played this album for me on the way out there. I think you'd played it for me before, but that was the first time I like really sat down and listened in on it was in the car on
You
the
were
way
already
to go
committed.
see them. Yeah. And then that was another concert. There were maybe 40 people
I remember. Yeah.
at most. It was like that little dingy Pittsburgh basement bar.
Basement bar. Yep. Like,
And it was just so good. It was such a good concert.
it was such a good concert. They played all the good. They basically played through the whole album, if I remember correctly. Um,
I
oh my
remember
god,
on the drive you said you didn't think they were going to play Housebroken, and they ended up playing it,
it's the best.
and that was very exciting.
So that I actually don't think I realized that was your introduction to them.
Yeah, going to see them.
I don't think I knew that. I thought I had convinced you to like them already, but maybe I just assumed that.
I think like you had played them for me before, and I enjoyed them, but I don't think I'd really sat down and listened to them until like on the way to that concert and then afterwards.
You didn't have like a personal moment with it yet. I see.
No. So I largely associate like going out to that concert with that album.
Yeah.
When I hear the album, when I think about it, I think of that trip.
And I mean, I'm assuming you've listened to it a fair bit since that. Like, it's a part of your life, as far as I know.
Oh yeah.
So, like, now what do you think of it? Like, does it still just take you to that place in time, or do you have like I don't know. I'm curious if it's something that has sort of changed the way you hear it, because I don't want to speak for you, but I realized that happened this last couple weeks listening to it again for this recording, where I was like, oh, like I hear this differently than I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I wonder if you feel the same way.
Yeah, kind of. I was actually just thinking that like past couple of days listening to it pretty much on repeat. With an album, when I first discover an album that I really love, I will associate it with like a memory or a person. And then for a while, I'll keep listening to it and just associating it with that memory. And then over time, I feel like I don't know how to say it. I feel like I just kind of absorb the album, if that makes sense. It just becomes less associated with that memory and more just as a part of me. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I didn't realize again until we were doing this. Like, I knew I wanted to talk about this album with you, and I was like, this is an important one for me. But I don't think I realized until this past month that I was like, oh, this is definitely like one of my like 10 or 15 that like I sort of think about a couple of bands and a couple of albums that like constitute my personality a little bit. Not my personality, but like constitute my taste and like in some way like part of my history.
Yeah.
So I think if I that's how I'm interpreting what you're saying. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, but for me, this is definitely one of those. And I don't think it hit me until like 2-3 weeks ago, or even like, yeah, it was like, oh, like this is like really important to me. And I didn't quite like, until you really go through and listen for some of the stuff like purposefully, you don't quite totally realize it. You're like, oh, this is like really internal, right? Like this lives somewhere deep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into these songs a little bit, but there's one other thing that I think is worth talking about, which is just like the we'll just say the heavy theme of the album, which again, another one of those, like, I knew it was about suicide,
Yeah.
but like until you really sit and listen, you're like, oh, this is like only about suicide. Like this is all this is about. And it is much darker than I even think I remember it. Like, you thinking about it as part of who I am, like it's a little bit odd because I'm not really somebody who, like, I'm fortunate enough to not have those, like, I can't really totally connect with that, right? Like I've not had like suicidal moments in my life, and I've not like the things that they're literally talking about, I cannot totally connect to. But yet somehow this album that is clearly only about that became such a big part of like who I am and like what I like about music.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened, to be honest with you.
I think that's one of the points of music, at least from certain artists, like to like build that connection. Like with Radiohead, I haven't gone through all the things that Tom York has gone through.
Who knows what he's been through?
Listening to their music. Yeah, exactly. I feel like a very personal connection to him. Just through listening to his music. And with an album like Home, they're conveying that theme in a way that, like, if it's something you've gone through or someone you're close to has gone through, then it's like they're just a voice to help you go through it. If not, then I feel like it just kind of helps you empathize.
Yeah.
You can kind of get a feel for what other people are going through without having to go through it yourself.
That's a really good point. I don't think I had thought about it that way. It's like, if you wrote a book about losing somebody to suicide, I don't think it would be as effective. Like, I wouldn't be able to read it and empathize in the same way. But listening to these 35 minutes of music, I'm like, I can really empathize now. Like, I feel like you're telling me like it's almost impressive. I wrote this down at some point in my notes. Like, it's almost impressive that you could make this into music if this actually happened to you. Like, if you had somebody you lost this way and like all these things that you've written about in these songs are true, it's impressive that you've been able to make it into music. Like, that's what I think of it, really.
It's tough because you have to like really just open up about it. Even if it's on pen and paper at first. You have to have like a solid understanding of what's going on in your own mind. And, like, good enough understanding of it to be able to convey it through words.
And it's done unbelievably well in this album. Like, I can't believe like how forthright some of these lyrics are, where you're like, first of all, I can't believe you wrote that down and we're just like, you said it out loud.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I'm going to put it to music. And the other thing is, like, the music isn't sad. Like, this album rocks. You know what I mean? Like, it's the way I've been thinking about it is like, each one, all of the shredding that they do, all of the like incredible drum, like, they're doing so much cool stuff with their instruments, and like some of this stuff is so like powerful musically.
Okay, sounds good, dude.
That I kind of feel like that was the outlet. They were like, okay, we need to figure out how to make something out of this crazy experience. And like, each one of these like cymbal hits and each one of these guitar riffs is like building something out of the pain, basically. And I find that to be really impressive. Like, I literally could not do it. I don't have the skills to do that. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of that exactly, but I've gained like more of an appreciation for this band and this album than I even had beforehand. Like I think I just thought about it like this is a cool thing that I like, and now I'm like this is actually like this is impressive. Like
Yeah, it's a really good album.
it's not high art, you know. It's still kind of like punk music, but it's done really well. Like
It is.
so,
It
and
I hate to bring up Radiohead again, but
no, but you should.
yeah, I mean everything relates. It all goes back to Radiohead eventually.
All good music does. I agree with you.
Yeah,
We're in lockstep about that theory.
yeah. But in talking about how they're writing the music to kind of help themselves through something, it just made me think of what's it called? Kid A track 4.
How did it disappear?
How
No.
to disappear completely.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, that's his song. I know the track number.
Still got it.
But that's a song that times where I've been like really upset, really depressed about something. Like I'll just pick up an acoustic guitar and like play it and sing it, and it helps me feel better.
Mhm.
So like all those cymbal crashes and the like the guitar they're just letting it out. Just letting out those feels.
That was Discomfort Revisited, right? That you just did? Track 8?
I think so.
He says, I wish you were here, or wish you could stay, wish you could feel the same way, or something like that. I wrote it down. It's such a good line.
Wish you could stay, wish you feel the same way.
Like, God, that's so brutal. Like, that's such a brutal thing to write at the end of this album when you know that, you know, we've just been 7 songs about somebody taking their own life. And then to have that line where you're just like, it's almost like acceptance, you know, and it's like you made something beautiful out of it. I don't know. It blows my mind. It really does. It blows my mind. But what's the? I bring that up to say this. I didn't listen to this album. Like my relationship to it and my history with it is like I was not listening to it as like a suicide album, and I didn't have somebody in my life that took their own life. I didn't feel that way myself. I wasn't connecting to it for those reasons, but I was connecting to like the raw angst of it, like the whole like this is somebody who's stuck somewhere, and in this case they're stuck sort of mentally, like unable to move past something or like working through something, I guess, right, that happened in their lives. But this is somebody who's stuck somewhere, who is like just beating on the walls to try to get out of it, basically. Like they can't think of anything else to do, right? And that I can connect with. Like that to me,
trying to escape the prison of their own mind.
Exactly. And being stuck when you're like, you mentioned being in your early 20s when this came out, like literally being stuck somewhere where you're just like, I love living with everybody, but it was like I'm just living with my stupid roommates who like who are just like trashing our crappy apartment, and none of us have good jobs, and none of us have any relationships that are real.
We all had the same job.
That's correct. Yes. And it wasn't great. Like I think I made $8 an hour or something like that.
Yeah, by the time I left, I think I was up to $12 an hour.
When you think about that now, like what? What? Oh, thank God that's not still the case, right?
There's not a place around that I could afford to live off of $12 an hour.
Oh, and I'm sure that's just like we sound old now because it's like nobody pays that anymore because it's like you couldn't. But I just remember like, you know, like I'm going to speak for myself. I was spinning my wheels big time. I was spinning my wheels, and like our effort to move and be like, we're going to move to across the country was like very much in reaction to the way that I was feeling, where I was like, I'm just stuck. I can't get out of this place. And I don't have any good ideas, basically. Like, I don't know what else to do. Right. And this album is like that, but about a very specific thing that happens to be all right. You have a friend that took their life, but it's the thesis is still like, I'm stuck here and I can't get the hell out, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I really connect to with it. And that's why I think that's also why I love Housebroken, because I feel like that like gets right to the heart of it. But
I was never great with the creative aspect. Like I would build things, just random things that popped out in my head, but I would get frustrated
yeah,
because it wouldn't turn out exactly the way I pictured it in my mind, and I didn't know how to translate what I could see in my mind to like an actual construction.
you just described like my whole problem with trying to be creative. What you just said of like, I have this thing in my head that isn't as good as the thing that I can make, and I'm so frustrated that like the thing in my head can't match the thing that I can make.
Yeah.
It's why I've never played an instrument, why I've never like become good at art. Like I've just like always ran into that same hurdle of like, I can't close the gap. I cannot close the gap.
Yeah. I can do it with guitar to an extent.
I'm jealous.
I'm not that great at guitar.
But you
But
can play.
like with guitar, if I hear something in my head, I can slow it down in my head and figure out which note to play. With Legos or like with drawing something, I can't bigamize the image in my head.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
just see like the final
It's
product and can't really visualize the different parts that go into it.
yeah. Yeah, you have to have the visual processing, like the visual imagination. I definitely don't have that. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I don't have that at all. I used to love
Zero.
drawing, but I'd get really frustrated. I guess when I was younger, that wouldn't happen so much. I would just start drawing, and then like what it ended up being is what it ended up being. I was usually pretty happy with it. But
You're
then
like, yeah,
as
that's
I
good
stopped
enough.
drawing so much, I just ended up getting out of practice. And then times I've tried to do it again since then, I just get really frustrated.
Did this work for you? Can you see this?
I see the album.
Very nice. Now I need to move my stupid window back. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna lightning round. Well, I don't know. It doesn't have to be lightning round, but there's 9 tracks. I want your thoughts, a little bit of your thoughts on each of them, as much as you could remember, since I know you're not working from notes. I will tell you the conceit that I always do, which is to give these a rating, not a number rating, because I'm not a fan of like 9 out of 10 or whatever. But the idea is like, is it bad? Is it okay? Is it good, great, or legendary? Is my like range.
Oh,
Um, and then see how many great and legendary songs are on the album, and does that make it a great or legendary album? I think the answer is yes. We could probably just start there.
yeah, I think so. I can just right off the bat with an introduction to the album.
Yeah, let's start there. You're
As
going
soon as-
legendary.
Yeah.
I
I just slept for years on end. Fuck. It's
he
so good. It's such
the
a
fact
good
that
way
that
to start.
happens 3 minutes into this 4.5 minute song, which is so brilliant. And what I love about it is like it's not like any other song on the album. Like that, the introduction to the album is the only one that is like it, which is like it's really slow at the
Yeah.
beginning, and it's basically just guitar and voice, and it's like building, 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 building.
Yeah, they're easing you into the album.
It's
I'm a
named
sucker
perfectly.
for a good intro and a good outro to albums.
And so this one is a legendary introduction to it. I wanted to give it legendary, but I felt like I'm going to spoil this. I have two other legendary songs that I rated.
Uh,
And I was like, can you give it 3? Like, is that too much? What do you think?
hmm,
I'm going to give it legendary. I'm with you.
I
I
don't
love it.
know.
It's a great song.
It's so good. I guess I
It's
don't
so
want
good.
to like dilute the meaning of the legendary rating.
I know. I think I think you can give an album 3, especially an album that you consider like one of your favorite in the world and like at the core of your heart. This deserves 3, and this is, I think, deservedly one of them. From the line that you just mentioned, which is like the best line in the whole, like, their whole discography. But like, there's other stuff in here that's really good too.
Yeah,
Like, even the way that he starts it, where he's like, "Open the curtain," and like the way that it just like frames it all.
I searched for a way out. Don't we all? It's so good.
He is like immediately in so much pain, right? Like,
It is.
frames it perfectly. Like, oh, you're listening to an emo album, and the rest of it's going to sound just like this. Like, this is.
Get ready to be really sad because that's how I feel writing this album.
And interestingly, the rest of the album actually has a lot of, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but he writes to somebody. That's how, like, it's very clear, oh, this is written to a friend who took their life.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is like, you this, you that. And in this one, it's I. Like, introduction to the album is I. And I can't figure out if it's really him or if he's writing from the perspective of this person, or if it's like a little bit of both, or if it even matters at all. Honestly, I don't know.
That's a good point.
There's a definite like shift in narrative of the way that he talks from I to you for the rest of this, which I thought was interesting. And I only caught it like today when I was listening to it. I was like, oh, that's different.
The impression I get is, I mean, going back to that line, I searched for a way out, don't we all? That line right there makes it sound like this is the perspective of the person he's speaking to in the rest of the album.
Yeah. Especially since it's the rest of the album that he's definitely speaking to somebody. It's like, it's weird that there would just be one song where he's not. So I think I buy that. I'm going to read it that way.
I just slept for years on end. Fuck. And then the slow part's over, electric guitar kicks in, and then the rest of the album's just like pretty heavy.
It's at that speed basically for the rest of the album, right? Like, they don't, and this is where I'm like, I said earlier, like, this album rocks. Like, they're not wallowing. They're like, we're playing music, man. We're here to play some rock music.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you get it. They frame it, they do that crescendo, and then they're like, this is the rest. The rest of these 8 tracks are all in this space. So it really is like the perfect intro song. And I love that it's called an introduction to the album. It's perfect. So I guess that's enough glazing an introduction to the album. Hold on. Can I do the little pointer thing? Oh, I can't remember how to do this. I used to be able to like use Meet to do like a pointer. I can do emojis. That's not what I'm looking for though.
Oh.
I can do a poll. No, I don't have the right tools. Track 2, the scope of all this rebuilding. What are your thoughts?
So that's the one that starts. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of that, like, fun, not so heavy, but like upbeat.
Very swingy. It almost feels like a swingy kind of guitar. Yeah. And then,
you fell for the first option presented to you. That's the song?
That's correct. That's correct. Although I wrote down like I don't take a lot of lyrics away from this one. Like there's not a lot of lines in this song where I'm like I sing that back to myself. Whereas like virtually everything else there is. So I actually don't even really know what this song is about, like narratively. I'm like I don't know. Again, everything here is about the suicide of his friend, but it's like I don't know what piece of that we're talking about here with this song. It's like it's almost too like raw. Honestly, it's a really raw song.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to pull up the lyrics. That's something I haven't done much with this album. Is pulled up the lyrics and read them along to the songs.
I think you'll find you like it quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's really, really well written album.
That really changes a lot of music for me, just sitting down and reading
Yes.
the lyrics along to the songs.
And then you're like, oh, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Because even if you think you know like most of the words, if you're just listening to it singing along, it doesn't really have the same impact as reading them.
No. It's poetry versus like feeling, right? It's like, yeah, it's a different kind of experience. I wrote down that they do like a call and response type thing where it's like lead singer does like a and then there's like background vocals that like jump in and like respond to it, and they start doing that in the song a little bit. That it happens. I mean, I think like every emo album does that to some degree. Like it's a very emo thing where it's like basically what we're doing is we're setting this up for that when we play it live, that's going to be where everybody in the crowd goes nuts and starts singing that part of the song, right? Like,
That makes sense.
and that's like what they do a little bit in this with like a call and response, which I like. I think it works well, but I don't really, like I said, I don't really know exactly what they're saying in the song. So I said it was good because I'm like, you know, it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not like it's better than okay, but I'm like, I don't really connect with what's happening here that much personally.
I don't think it's not one of the ones that really stands out.
No.
It's a good song. I'm not going to skip it when I'm listening to the album. I enjoy it. But it's not one of the ones that I get real fucking hype when it comes on either.
Do you have any skips? Should I ask this down?
No. There's not a song in this album I skip.
I don't have any skips when I put the album on purpose, but there is one song that if it came up on shuffle, I would skip it. We'll get there when we get there, but there's one where I'm like, it needs to be like the only way I listen to it is in the context of the album. Yeah, that's it. But it's not the next one. It's not number 3, In Framing. I think In Framing is a great song. It has the same like kind of swingy bass guitar thing going on that The Scope of All This Rebuilding has, except it just also has better lyrics and like a better narrative. So I like it a lot.
Are you able to play the first like 5-10 seconds of the songs?
I don't know how to share that on this, but I probably can. Wait. Do you think I could share audio?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know technology.
Technology. Hold on. Let's see.
It's once I hear the first few seconds of it, then I can play through the rest of the song in my head.
I don't know if I can. There's nowhere for me to like share. We're learning as we go, folks. Yeah, there's nowhere for me to like share audio. I don't think.
If I minimize Google Meet, is it gonna close it?
There's only one way to find out, man.
Yeah, probably not. Oh no, just smallmized it.
It smallmized it. Perfect. Indeed. Yeah, I don't think I can share audio.
All right,
which is weird because I know you can do that on Zoom. I've done it before when I was teaching on Zoom during the pandemic. Which let me tell you, that was tough.
Okay.
Did you get it? Did you get it up?
Yeah, but
I can't hear it, so it's
there
filtering
we
out.
go.
Doesn't it have like a ska feel to it? I think that's why I like it.
Yeah, it does.
It has like a ska feel to it. And then there's this part where he like slows it down a little bit, and he starts like talking into the. Well, it's not really a talk. It's I don't know. It's just like a different vocal delivery, and he's just like, "Call me baby," and will like picks back up again. And I just think that's like underratedly a great moment on the album, honestly. So I like this song a lot. I give it a great. Wait, I
Now I
lost
have the
you.
lyrics up too.
All I see is a hamster
What?
and not your
On
face
me?
anymore. Yeah,
You
there
see me
you're
now?
back. Yeah.
So when I switch out of this window, it's just my. I think that's my Google profile
It
picture.
is, which is pretty funny. Honestly, pretty adorable.
I never selected that.
It was random.
That's what Google gave me. Yeah.
Google was like, "This is a hamster guy for sure."
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
I mean, I bought into it. I kind of thought it worked. I don't think you need to play the next one to know track 4, Your Deep Rest. Tell me about this song.
No. But now I just want to hear it too. This I'd say is one of the really standout songs on the album.
It's one of my other legendaries. One of my original legendaries. I think it's like emo masterpiece, dude. I think this is like among the best emo songs ever written. It's so good. And
back when you weren't so upset, I called in sick from your funeral.
What a line,
It's
right?
like it's just emo music encompassed into one line.
100%. Called in sick for your funeral. The sight of your body made me uncomfortable. I couldn't recognize your shell. This is the moment where I was like, he wrote that down. Like, this happened to him. His friend died. He wrote that onto paper, and then he was like, not only am I going to say it out loud, I'm going to sing it out loud, like probably hundreds of times, because this is your most popular song, dude.
Yep.
This became the biggest Hotelier hit, if there is such a thing. And this is what blows my mind about it. It's like, how can you perform this song if this is for real? Like, unless you made this story up, which would be horrible and insane. How do you perform this? Like, the sight of your family made me feel responsible. I found the notes you left behind, little hints and helpless cries.
It's got to be tough to sing.
And makes it all sound like, again, this is not a whiny song. Like, this is a rock song that has like a lot of good energy to it. Like, the guitars are like, there's sort of like this choked like picking going on. I don't know what you call that, but it was like dun, 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 dun. It doesn't even need a bass. Like, I realized listening to this today, there's no bass that I can discern because the rhythm guitars do everything. Like, they carry the whole basically. And it has such like genuinely good energy that it's like a song that's literally about missing somebody's funeral because you're so sad that they killed themselves. Sounds like this. It's a masterpiece. It's legendary. That's all I can say.
Legendary, hands down.
Hands down.
There's this band called As Cities Burn. I think the name of the song is The Widow. I could be wrong about that.
Write it down.
But basically singer wrote it to his dad. His dad, who like walked out on him and his brothers when they were little, and then just never came back. He never saw his dad again.
Good
And
shit.
the whole premise of that song is like he's found it in his heart to forgive his dad.
Damn.
And so that song, um, that's the whole point of the song is this is what happened. It is what it is. I forgive you. I still love you. And there's a video I found of him performing it live where he's choking up the whole time. He's just like trying to keep performing, but he's like crying the whole time. And I don't know if this is true. I just saw a couple people in the comments said that like the day or a couple days before he did that performance, he found out that his dad had died. And so what was I'm sure already a really tough song for him to perform.
Yeah, and like in front of
that much harder.
Strangers. Yeah, it's truly like an exercise in like some part of humanity that I'm like I don't even know if I understand like how we do this. I guess this is maybe it's cathartic. I don't know. Maybe this is like something that like normal people don't get to do, where like because if you're not in a band, you can't like play your feelings to other people. But like
Yeah.
maybe there's something actually helpful about it. I don't know. It's alien to me.
I think it can be helpful. Like my example with how to disappear completely helps me feel better.
Yeah. Imagine playing it in front of like a million people though.
Nope.
See what I mean?
Not interested in that.
Exactly. And if you're Tom York, you have to. Well, not anymore. You do whatever you want now that you're Tom. Now that you're 60 years old and you're just living the life.
Yeah.
Can we just briefly? They released 9 studio albums. Are we really to believe in the year 2026 that they're not going to make a 10th? Are they done? Is Radiohead done? Tell me they're not done.
I don't know. Like they did mean for that last one to be like the conclusion to their discography, right?
Did they? Oh God, I didn't know that.
I thought they did, but
I just thought you can't end on 9 if you can. Like 10 is such a great round number.
it's I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
been 10 years, cool. Alex.
It's been a long time.
It's been 10 years
since that album came out.
Since the Moonshaped Pool came out. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. So I think we're cooked. I don't think they're coming back with another one.
10 years have gone by so quick. Well, Tool just released an album in 2020. It had been 14 years since their last album.
That's true. So they might just pull a Tool, which would be pretty cool.
Very possible.
I'm waiting with bated breath. I just yawned right into the microphone. That's hilarious. We're gonna keep it going here so I don't fall asleep. Among the Wildflowers, track 5. What do you mean? Any thoughts? I'll start while you're looking for it if you want to play it yourself. This is like
the slow intro one.
They take a breath. You can hear birds in the beginning, even like they really take a breath. And I'm like, thank God, because after you're depressed, like if you just did that again, it would be like pulverizing. Like you need to chill. You need to take a step back. There is. Is he still napping in your arms? Oh my God, that is so impressive.
Yeah, I need to get him up soon. He's not going to sleep all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking when I was taking my shower listening to this. This is I don't know if I'd say it's like one of my top songs on the album, but it has some moments like
Yeah.
chewing wallflowers to numb the pain
Hmm.
is probably one of my top lines on the album.
It's a great line. And they do a lot of cool stuff with like the structure of the song. It's kind of long
Yeah.
and it's like soft during some points and loud during other points.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing at the end, which I wrote down, and I didn't even never connected to this at all until listening to this like a couple weeks ago for this. They interview like this kid. They're talking to this like child about like bullying. I think you can hear it at the end. Like they're asking about like what would you do if like somebody was hurting your friend, basically. And the kid responds and like says some version of like, I would, I would basically like do what I need to do to stick up for them or whatever. And like that's kind of cheesy, but I think I probably would have thought it was cheesy when I was 22 and this song or this album first came out. But like now I don't think it's cheesy. I'm like, this is like another brutal moment and another like awesome thing to include on your emo album. Like
I didn't know if that was like from a movie or what.
yeah, I don't know either. I assumed, well, maybe it's from a movie, but I assumed like it was just an interview with a kid, basically. Um, Really weird way to end a song, but it worked for me. I liked it. I was like, you know what? It's a great song. Give it a great.
I'd say
If
great.
you want to skip one, this is the one I would skip. Life and Drag.
Okay, that makes sense.
This is the one where I'm like, if this is on shuffle and it comes up, I'm over it. I don't get it. I don't hear any of it. Really, it's just like too much yelling.
Yeah, I mean, it's like musically, it's the like simplest song on the album, or at least interesting. But me coming from my like metal and screamo background, I really enjoy this song.
So you're giving it a great. What are you giving it?
I mean, I just appreciate that it sounds like they threw in some old Underoath.
They're like, just for you, Alex.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, good or great.
Good or great. Okay.
It's not a particularly exciting song. It's just, I like the aggression in it.
It's pure aggression. I mean, you got to give them that credit as it's like, this song is at 10 the whole time. What I'm going to tell you is Housebroken is the other legendary song, which I think you probably could have guessed. And I think it's like, aside from like narratively, this whole like thing about a dog, like the thing that they do where they're like, oh, we're basically going to all of a sudden start writing from the perspective of like this person is a dog essentially, and like they're in Stockholm syndrome. I just think it's brilliant. And it's like the rest of this album is like you're writing to a person, and then all of a sudden you're like, you're a dog now.
Yeah. It's, what's funny about that, as I remember many years ago, you saying you didn't like metaphors.
Well, I do now.
Is this an exception to the rule, or have you grown fond of metaphors in general?
I think I've grown much more fond of them in music, actually. I don't know if I was talking about music at the time or just in general, but I was also like an idiot 22-year-old. So I'm sure I said that and like genuinely meant it. But now I kind of feel like if you can make a convincing metaphor in your song, I'm on board with it.
Yeah.
And it's done perfectly. Although I think like this is obviously about like domestic abuse of some sort, but I think they were interviewed about this song in the past and like did not commit to like this being about that. Like they were like kind of wishy-washy about like what this was actually about and if it was about somebody who was like in an abusive relationship. But to me, I'm like, I don't know how you could read this any other way. Like,
Yeah.
this is like clearly Stockholm syndrome, like, you know, you've been housebroken and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Touchy subject. Maybe they just didn't want to like share someone else's business.
Exactly.
I mean, they did through the song, but if it's different to have a song like this and then to actually during an interview
Name it.
explain your friend's situation.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a little bit of a left turn because it's like the rest of this album is about somebody's suicide and this isn't. So it's like, is it related or is it not? Is it like, yeah, I don't know. Is this a different person now all of a sudden? Is it all just the general theme of like bad, dark thoughts? I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think it's such a good song that I don't care that much.
Yeah. Definitely legendary.
Definitely a legendary. The last two, I'm going to group them together. Discomfort Revisited and Dendron, unless you want to split them apart. I think they're both great. And I think that they actually sound a lot like the forthcoming album, Goodness, that came out 2 years later.
Oh,
And so it's kind of fitting that they put these at the end where they're like, because Goodness is like not a sad album. Like it's definitely an emo album, but it's not like a tragedy album like this is. Goodness has a lot more like literally finding the good in stuff. And I think that these two tracks do that really well. And they actually sound like much more like I wrote down there like grown up emo.
makes sense.
Which I really appreciate about them now. Yeah. I don't think I liked them when, like, I don't think I ever listened to these songs when we went to go see that show 10 years ago. Like, I was not into these. And now I'm like, oh, like 32-year-old me loves these songs.
Yeah. I'm a grown up emo.
Yeah, I am grown up emo.
Yeah. Everything's, the picture's a little bit clearer.
Yes.
Everything just kind of comes into perspective the older you get.
A little bit more. You've made it like the way I think about it is like I've made it to the other side of some things now. And at the time that wasn't really necessarily true. I hadn't really made it to the other side of anything when I was 20. But now I have a couple things, not everything, but a couple things. And so these like resolution songs hit with me a little bit more than they used to. So I like them quite a bit. I give them both great, but I don't think they can't get much higher than that because otherwise you're just saying the whole thing is legendary. That's crazy.
Yeah. Because again, then you're taken away from the legendary reading itself.
Exactly. You dilute it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would call
I do love that one a lot.
Which one?
What is it? Comfort Revisited?
Discomfort is it? Yeah, you were singing that one earlier. It's so good.
Yeah. I know the song, how they sound a lot better than I know the titles. I'm never looking at the titles.
Well, you have two homework assignments for following this. Actually, three. I'm going to give you three homework assignments. One, read the lyrics because they're really good. Two, you could do this at the same time as you're reading the lyrics. Look at the name of the song.
Fair.
So that's really one. And then three is you need to listen to Goodness because I love Goodness. And
hold on. That is one.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've listened to it, but it's been a while.
It's not as good for certain, but it's a really great album that I like. I think I like it as much as I like Home, but I don't think it's as good. Like I recognize it's not the same caliber of album, but I like it as much. So, personally.
It's one that Joe found worthy of buying on vinyl.
And that's picture.
How I discovered that the blurred picture is not the actual album artwork.
It's naked 80-year-olds, yeah.
Yep.
Or not even. They're like, 60 maybe. But it's like, hey man, this is what happens when you get old.
Yep.
Sorry.
Grown up emos.
Grown up emos. Exactly. That's what it is. And that's full circle. They were already writing it at the end of this album. They were like, listen, we never really get over certain things, but you can make art out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about. That's like why I love it. You can make art out of it. That's it. That's my thesis.
One last note.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very different genre, but thematically similar. Bring Me the Horizon has an album called Suicide Season, and
Okay.
I think the whole album is like a similar suicide theme, but in particular, the last song on the album, the title track, Suicide Season. I think it's a very beautifully written song. It's
Listen to it.
It's heavy and very dark. But that's like one of my early introductions to music about suicide. 'Cause I've been listening to that album since like 10th grade, 11th grade, and I love that song.
I'm gonna have to give it a listen. Suicide Season.
It's heavy. It's not your genre of music at all, but
I mean,
it's really cool. But you'll want to have the lyrics up so you can see what he's saying.
no lyrics up.
Yeah.
To make a note on what you just said, my taste in music has changed quite a bit. Unlike what you told me at the beginning of this, which is that yours hasn't. I think I might like it more than you think. I listen to like a lot more rock music now and a lot heavier stuff. Not really metal. I still have not broken through to metal and become like a metal fan. Maybe someday. I feel like every 2 years I try again. But I don't know. Certain stuff does break through for me, so this might. So I'm going to give it a listen and see. I'll let you know what I think.
It's a cool one. I like the words music. It's a longer one.
I like the words.
Actually, a line in that song. Death is only a horizon, and I'm ready for the sun to set.
Isn't that basically the name of the band?
Yeah, pretty much. Bring me the horizon, bring me death. I liked that line so much as an angsty 15, 16-year-old that I posted it on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
And got a handful of messages from concerned family members.
Yeah. You're
I was like, it's just a line from a song. I thought it was really cool.
Not
I'm
the
16,
response you were
leave me
looking
alone.
for. You're like, I wanted some like emo girl to be like, wait, you love this song too?
Yeah. No, it was my guy friends who knew the song all liked it, and then my family members who saw it all thought that I was going to kill myself.
Yeah. Well, you proved them wrong.
Yeah. Sure did. That was half my life ago.
Well done.
Hey. Made it this far.
Absolutely. Which at this point in the world today is like kind of saying a lot.